Alright, hey, I'm back again discussing the book Physics of the Future by Michio Kaku. This is a book about the future around the year 2100. And this book basically discusses the future of the computers in the year 2100, the future of AI, the future of medicine, future of nanotechnology, the future of energy, the future of space travel, the future of wealth, and the future of humanity. And the last chapter discusses what a day in the life of 2100 would be. So yesterday, I talked about chapter 9, a day in the life of the year 2100. The day before that, I talked about chapter 1, the future of computers. Today, I will be talking about chapter 2, the future of AI, or artificial intelligence. And so this chapter basically talks about what we will have robots do for us. What will they become? Let's say, will they take over and stuff? What we will have them do for us, and what they will look like. And if we were to go to Mars, would we send robots first, or we would not like the robots you already have on Mars, not like those rovers. Those aren't really robots, like AI robots that are artificially intelligent. And if we were to build bases on the moon, would they be inhabited by robots so we can analyze Mars and stuff, or would we inhabit them ourselves? Would like humans inhabit it? And so yeah, that's what it basically talks about. And so the first important thing we want to talk about when it comes to artificial intelligence is the 3 laws of robotics. If we were to build a robot, robots will not be able to, robots will have to follow these 3 laws that we created for them. And so those 3 laws are: a robot may not injure any human being, and they may not let them be harmed. If there's a position where they will be harmed and it's 100% chance, they have to save as many as they can. And so, and they put the women and children first, and then the men, if they have to save them. And a robot must obey any order a human being gives them, unless it contradicts the first law. So let's say a human tells a robot to kill them, or hurt them, or break their arm or something, because they have problems. They cannot do that because it contradicts the first law, which is the robot may not injure any human being. And the third, last but not least, the third law is a robot must protect itself as long as it doesn't contradict the first or second law. Okay, so those are the 3 laws of robotics. And we will get to the chapter 2. I will read one section from chapter 2. Alright, so chapter 2 is on page 65. Alright, I'm gonna go. Give me a sec. Okay, the future of AI is the rise of machines. And the quote for this chapter is, will robots inherit the earth? Yes, but they will be our children. The quote was by Marvin Minsky. So y'all can discuss what you think about that or what that means. I'm not going to discuss about that today. I'm going to skip right to the first section. The gods of mythology, with their divine power, could animate the inanimate. According to the Bible in Genesis chapter 2, God created man out of dust, and he breathed in the nostrils the breath of life, became a living soul. According to Greek and Roman mythology, the goddess Venus could make statues spring to life. Venus talked and pitied the artist Pygmalion when he fell hopelessly in love with his statue. Granted his fondest wish and turned the statue into a beautiful woman, Galatea. The god Vulcan, the blacksmith of the gods, could even create an army of mechanical servants made of metal. And bring them to life. And yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Maybe we can be able to do that in the future. Today we are like Vulcan, forging in our laboratories machines that breathe life not into clay, but into steel and silicon. But will it be to liberate the human race or enslave it? If one reads the headlines today, It seems as if the question is already settled. The human race is about to be rapidly overtaken by our own creation. So that is chapter 1. That is section 1 of chapter 2. And another thing people talk about is, can robots possibly take over Earth and like make us their slaves and stuff? Well, they can obviously not disobey 3 laws of robotics because it's programmed into them. They cannot just disobey those 3 laws. But we would program robots to be really, really smart. So they might find a way to they might find a way to take over us without contradicting those 3 laws, because they would make the robots really, really smart. And if you're really, really smart, I guess you could probably find a way to contradict those 3 laws while taking over. That's one thing. So I think scientists and stuff and people who created those laws, they should improve it and maybe add a few more laws just in case the robots try to take over. I don't know, but like they should make it more detailed and stuff. So we've already created a really smart robot called Osmo by Honda. And Osmo stands for Advanced Step in Innovative Mobility. I'm not sure where the O is, but that's what it stands for. It made it as a graphic demonstration of the revolutionary advances made in robotics. It is 4 feet and 3 inches tall. It weighs 119 pounds, which is quite light because humans can be a lot heavier. And it reassembles a young boy with a black visor. It resembles a young boy because 4'3" stands for a young boy. And with a black visored helmet and a backpack. Osmo, in fact, is remarkable. It can realistically walk, run, and climb stairs and talk. One thing scientists are trying to get over with is helping robots be able to walk and run like humans do, because it's really complex, actually. It can wander around rooms, pick up cups, trays, respond to some simple commands, and even recognize some faces. It even has a large vocabulary and can speak in different languages. Because, of course, you can just program a robot to speak any language you want, and you'd be able to. But, of course, if you want a human to learn every single language, I don't think they can finish that in their lifetime. Osmo is a result of 20 years of intense work by scores of Honda scientists who have produced a marvel of engineering. One thing I find cool about Osmo, the robot, is the fingers. So, like, normally, they would act like muscles. They're very flexible, and to me, I think that's remarkable. And they can just pick up stuff easily, pick up a piece of paper, pick up a pencil, write stuff, draw stuff, carry stuff without dropping it and everything. It's remarkable because other robots, they can. It's hard to get over the fact that about the fingers, because steel isn't meant to bend. So yeah, I think that's cool. So I'm gonna give a brief history of artificial intelligence. Critics. I'm gonna read from the book. Critics sometimes point out a pattern that every 30 years, AI practitioners claim that super intelligent robots are just around the corner. Then, when there's reality check, a backlash sets in. In 1950s, when electronic computers were first introduced after World War II, scientists dazzled at the public with notional machines that could perform miraculous feats, picking up blocks, playing checkers, and even solving algebra problems. It seemed as if truly intelligent machines were just around the corner. Public was amazed, and soon there were magazine articles breathlessly predicting time. However, Simon once declared, machines will be capable within 20 years of doing any work a man can do. But reality sets in, and chessing machines cannot win against a human expert. They can play only chess, nothing more. And these early robots were like one-trick pony, performing just one simple task. Unlike us, we can play chess, play checkers, do all this stuff, and yeah. And so mainly robots, when you build robots, you mainly have one intention, and they focus on that only. Like if you want to build a Rubik's Cube solving robot, it's really, really good at that. But that's the only thing you can do, basically. So yeah. And in fact, in the 1950s, real breakthroughs were made in AI. But because the progress was vastly overstated, overhyped, a backlash set in. In 1974, under the course of rising criticism, the U.S. and British governments cut off funding, and the AI winter set in. So, around the 1950s, the governments didn't feel like AI was too important, and they didn't have all the money in the world to spend on it, and so they decided to stop the funding for the companies making the AI and stuff, and so AI stopped evolving. Today, AI researcher Paul Abrams shakes his head and looks back at those heady times from the 1950s when he was a graduate student at MIT and anything seemed possible. He recalled, "It's as though a group of people had proposed to build a tower to the moon. Each year they pointed with pride how much higher the tower got than its previous year. The only trouble is that the moon isn't getting much closer." In the 1980s, enthusiasm for AI peaked again. Enthusiasm for AI peaked once again. This time, the Pentagon poured millions upon millions of dollars into projects like the Smart Truck, which is a truck that can drive by itself. It was supposed to travel behind enemy lines, do reconnaissance, rescue U.S. troops, and return to headquarters, all by itself, without anyone having to drive in it, so they don't get hurt driving the truck. Fifth Generation Computer Systems Project, sponsored by the powerful Japanese Ministry of Internal Trade Industry. The fifth generation project goes, among others, to have a computer system that can speak conversational language, have full reasoning ability, and even participate what we want, all by the 1990s. Unfortunately, the only thing that Smart Truck did was get lost, and the fifth generation project, after much fanfare, was quietly dropping without explanation. Once again, the rhetoric far outpaced reality, and the real gains made in AI in the 1950s. But because progress was again overhyped, the second backlash set in, creating the second AI winter. So once again, the government stopped paying for AI, creating the second AI winter, which in funding again died, and delusion people left the field in droves. It became painfully clear that something was missing. In 1992, AI researchers had mixed feelings holding a special celebration in honor of the movie 2001, A Space Odyssey, in which a computer called HAL, the HAL 9000, runs amok and slaughters crewed spaceship. The movie, filmed in 1968, predicted by 1992 there'd be robots that can freely converse with humans on any topic and command a spaceship. Fortunately, it was painfully clear that most advanced robots had a hard time keeping up the intelligence of a bug. In 1997, IBM's Deep Blue accomplished the historic breakthrough by decisively beating the world chess champion, Garry Kasparov. Deep Blue was an engineering marvel, computing 11 billion operations per second. However, instead of opening the floodgates of artificial intelligence research in our new age, it did precisely the opposite. It highlighted only periods of AI research. Upon reflection, it was obvious that many Deep Blue could not think. It was a perfect chess, but scored 0 on an IQ exam. After this victory, it was a loser. Kasparov, who did all the talking to the press, since Deep Blue could not talk at all. Gradually, AI researchers began to appreciate the fact that brute computational power does not equal intelligence. AI researcher Heckler says, "Today you can buy chess programs for $49 that would beat world champions. Yet no one thinks they're intelligent." Yeah, I can relate to that. With calculators, because imagine how hard. I wouldn't imagine how to make a calculator. I have no idea how to make a calculator. It's just a tiny chip, maybe this big, and it can do all those computing problems and everything. And that's kind of like this chess playing. It's hard to comprehend, but how to make them and stuff. So I think I'm done for today. All right, I'm done.